Regan Slaymaker for International Boxing News, and I'm joined by the Billericay bomber himself, George Liddard. George, how are you doing today, mate?
Yeah, good, thank you. Yourself?
Yeah, I'm very well, thank you. First of all, I just said off camera, last time we spoke, it was before you announced your deal with Matchroom. Kind of, I can see you smiling already. Kind of, how did it feel to officially get that over the line?
Yeah, no, great. You know, a dream come true for me. You know, something I wanted since I was a little boy, and for it to, you know, finally be here and to have a deal with Matchroom just feels amazing. Feels very good.
Definitely is. Who was the first person you told, kind of, when the outside of kind of the social media posts?
It's got to be my dad, isn't it? You know, we're saying we both wanted for a very long time since I was a boy. You know, it was always the man I wanted to sign with was Eddie Hearn and Matchroom. You know, being from Billericay and you know, a man from the local area, it's always who we wanted to sign with, and for it to come true, you know, it was literally a dream come true for both of us.
Definitely, mate. It's obviously a huge platform for yourself as well. And your last fight on the Pacheco-Cullen undercard, obviously, originally Callum Smith set to headline, then I think Robbie Davis and Liam Pyro, then Pyro withdrew. Was there any nerves that the fight could have been moved and things like that?
I'll be honest, when I see the first post about the Callum Smith fight not happening, I read the first line about Callum Smith having to withdraw, and I was like, nah, like not again, because obviously it happened before with my debut getting rescheduled. So I thought, oh, not again. You know, like I was so ready, and you know, I wanted to get the fight done. And yeah, when I see that, I was a bit nervous at first that it was going to get cancelled, and even for the first couple of days on fight week, I was a little bit like. But then when I was finally there, you know, at the press conference, and I saw the media work obviously happen, I knew it was gonna go ahead. So yeah, all eyes was on that night again.
Definitely was, mate. And obviously, kind of. You fought on that card. It was a great night of boxing all round it, despite the two kind of headline acts falling through. But kind of, what did you make of your performance? Obviously, you spoke a little bit off camera. Not too happy with it, from your own words.
Not my best performance. Look, I see what I do in the gym, you know, week in, week out, and I put the work in. And I don't feel like it was fully represented that night. How good of a fighter I am. You know, he was a durable opponent. Hadn't been stopped in 6 years, and been in with some decent names. Over in Canada, like Patrice Volney being one of them, and you know, I matched him, stopped him in the third. So to get him out of there was good with how I was feeling on the night. You know, not feeling 100%, but we still got the job done, and I suppose that's what's important, really.
Definitely, I'll say to you off camera, I thought it was a very good performance from yourself, mate. You were moving around the target well, kind of. Obviously, he was a more durable opponent, kind of. Obviously, you know that going in. Was there kind of any doubt that you'd got the stoppage in the end, or is it just?
I think, you know, when I see him on the scales, I thought, because he come up a bit of weight from some of his previous fights, and I see he was in good shape. You know, I see he was well built. His stomach, you know, his abs, he had abs there. He weren't like a typical journeyman, a bit out of shape. Just took the fight on late notice. He looked like he'd really come to try and, you know, cause me a lot of problems and to be very tough, and which he was. You know, I hit him with a good body shot in the first, which I've watched back a couple of times, and just ate it. And you know, that just goes to show how tough he was. But then I finally, you know, got to him in the third. But I did sit down after the second round, and I thought, I think this is going to be one of them guys, you know, just how I'm feeling on the night, just couldn't get to him. But I got out there in the third, picked up the pace a little bit, landed a good shot, and once I see I'd hurt him and put him on his heels a bit, I finished the job. But yeah, very tough man, and yeah, he was a very nice fella after as well. So I
was gonna say, you got a few photos with him, I think, afterwards as well, and it was a very good stoppage by Steve Gray, I think, as well. Obviously, I was watching it back last night, kind of, and it sounded as if, like through the screen, that kind of you took a fair few fans to Liverpool, but you've kind of corrected me off camera. Like, talk to me. It wasn't that you brought a lot of people to Liverpool; they were just loud. Talk to me a bit about your fans.
Yeah, no, I think I took about 30, 40 up there. You know, not a massive amount, but I've got very passionate fans. You know, down here we're all very passionate. And then, you know, they made the trip to come up, so they definitely were going to show out and make some noise, which they did, obviously, like you say. Obviously, very different atmosphere from the debut, because I do think at the debut, obviously, I had more like 150 to 200 people there supporting me, so that was a very, very loud night. But yeah, walking out, it weren't quite the same atmosphere, obviously being on first as well, very empty. But like you say, for the amount of people that were there, you know, they did make some noise, which I appreciate them massively.
Oh, there's definitely, you can hear it. As I said, you could hear it through the screen as well, mate. And obviously, I wanted to touch on your obviously you train here with Tony Sims, but also your main trainer as well, Kevin Mitchell as well. Kind of, I mean, I watched back the Katsidas fight when he sold out Upton Park, which, I mean, do you ever think you could one day sell out the Olympic Stadium?
Oh God, that's my dream. You know, I'd love to sell out London Stadium. You know, a big, massive West Ham fan myself. So to sell that out one day, would be a dream come true. Which, you know, you got to manifest things and you got to look forward to that. And I think one day I potentially could. Big world title fight, maybe London Stadium.
Mate, that would be huge, and also it's only about 40 minutes away from where we live, I think. So that'd be so easy.
Yeah, exactly. Same for me. You know, I could get a massive crowd there, which I'm sure down the line it would need to sell out a stadium like that.
Mate, 100%, that would be incredible. And also, as we mentioned, Kevin did sell out Upton Park as well. Kind of, obviously, he kind of done it all. As a lot of people said, he was good enough to win a world title. He just did it. Just never really fell for him. I think he came up against like Linares when he was in his prime and stuff. But is there anything particular he has told you that has kind of stuck with you since you've been training with him?
To be honest, just to enjoy myself and relax, you know, just to like, he's always a joker in the gym, you know. He's serious when we get to work and we put the work in together. But I think having someone like him around who, you know, when you're tired and you're feeling that on those days when you're feeling extra tired, he really is that joker that kind of lifts the mood. You know, he's got a really good personality about him, and having Kevin in the gym is massive, and having him as my trainer is amazing. Just the wealth of experience that he brings. You know, he's been in the ring with some massive names and beat some good fighters. And yeah, having him on my side is definitely something like very valuable.
Definitely, mate. I think if you haven't watched that like Linares fight, definitely.
Yeah, he boxed amazing. You know, until that, you know, his eyes obviously swelled in that Linares fight. I genuinely did believe he was beating him. I mean, he had Linares down. Linares, you know, great fighter. I think like multi-weight world champion or something like that.
4-weight, I think.
Yeah, something crazy like that. And I do believe Kev was beating him up to that point. You know, having him down and. Yeah, just, you know, one of them things really, got a swelling on his eye. And I do hear a lot of people say, you know, one of the best fighters to never win a world title, which he is. He's such a talented fighter. But, you know.
I mean, it is one of those things, and I suppose that is the highest compliment you can get without actually having a world title as well.
Yeah.
I do want to touch on another stablemate, kind of is going to win back his world title that he never really lost as well, at Joe Cordina. And then you've got, obviously, Jordan Thompson fighting on the card. Kind of how have them two, obviously you're the best person to ask, you train with them day in, day out. How have those two been going, and you expect to see Joe and Jordan do the business on Saturday? Yeah,
both are tremendous fighters. You know, Jordan Thompson's such an athletic build. You see him on the morning work, and obviously being one of the newer ones in the gym, you just wouldn't know. The way he does the sprints, he does them effortlessly, and he's just so quick. He's very athletic, and I'm looking forward to seeing him get a knockout win. Joe Cordina, just again, incredible talent. Like, boxes unbelievably. His boxing brain, his IQ, everything is unbelievable. Sorry, nightmares. Joe, amazing fighter, and I'm looking forward to seeing him win back his title that he never lost. You know, in his eyes, still a world champion in my eyes too.
Definitely, I think a lot of people, I don't think anyone would go to Wales and say that he wasn't a world champion in that one. And then also going on to kind of John Ryder as well, he's been in some big fights. This is probably the biggest, going in against Canelo on May 6th. Kind of, how do you see that fight going with Canelo? Obviously, it's caused a lot of debate online, but how do you see John going over there to Mexico?
Oh, it's an unbelievable fight, isn't it? You know, to say someone I'm sparring, you know, week in, week out, he's fighting Canelo. It's amazing. You know, I've looked up to Canelo for years, a great fighter, and to see John getting the opportunity to fight on such a big card, it's great. He deserves it. You know, he's had some unlucky nights in the past, which potentially could have come through and had the bigger fights early on, but everything happens for a reason, and he's got the big fight now. And you know, John's in great shape. He's training very hard. Great fighter, very tough man. And you know, Canelo's not boxed anyone kind of John's stamp. Canelo's kind of own stamp for a long time. Always boxed taller opponents, and I think that different style could cause Canelo. We haven't seen Canelo box that style for a while, so could definitely cause him some problems on the night, and I'm looking forward to seeing how it plays out.
I was going to say, Maisie did say that John was going to get the knockout. Do you think he could get it?
I'd love to see it. You know, even if he beating him in any way possible, that's the key. And I'd love to see him get a knockout. But
definitely, yeah. that would be a photo I'd like to see on the wall over there.
Oh, 100%.
Those titles be incredible. And then my final question, mate, we didn't touch on it. When can we see you back in the ring?
Hopefully early June. You know, the sooner the better. I'm back in camp now, back working. I've got early June in my eyes, and yeah, as soon as I find out, you know, fully set on the goal and go out 3-0. I'm not just coming to win, I'm coming to knock everyone out, so you should see that again early June.
Perfect, and we look forward to it, mate. George,
perfect. Thanks a lot, man. Appreciate it.
Cheers.